are built, or historically how masjids were built and how Khana Kaaba was built. Because this is all relation to one single religion, and that is the religion of Allah, which is Islam. And Islam is the religion always present. People have come and people have left. But Allah's religion never changed. So someone who understands our tariqah 100%, that person can firmly say that we are the true follower of the Islam. क्योंकि इस्लाम के अंदर जो फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल थे वो ये था कि हमेशा इस रिलीजन के अंदर एक लिविंग गाइड होगा. इसका रेफरेंस भी लिखना लिख ले आप 17 की 71 कि हमेशा हर ज़माने के लिए एक इमाम होगा. वर्ड इमाम यूज हुआ इधर.
Very important here. Like there will be no time that the world will be without the guide, and the Arabic word is imam. The reference is 17 by 71.
This is the fundamental principle of Islam. There will be no time ever. Before Muhammad bhi nahi, before Ali bhi nahi, after Muhammad bhi nahi, after Ali bhi nahi. Hamesha, always, there will be a living guide, imam, for all the time and all the people.
So what's Qayamat ka din? Is that when you die, or is that when everything ceases?
Literally Qayamat ka din, the day of judgment, right? The day your judgment is being taken. That is the day of Qayamat for you. Pir Nasr Khusro in his Wajahdin says, in one of his poems says, the Qiyamah is like a second. Qiyamah is perpetual. Qiyamah is like a minute. Qiyamah is like an hour. Qiyamah is like a day. Qiyamah is like a week. Qiyamah is like a month. And he goes on and on.
It's constant.
Qiyamah is constant. Every second that passes, a small Qiyamah passes. Every minute passes, a small Qiyamah passes. Every time, today, unknowingly, we went through a Qiyamah. Because one of the name of Qiyamah is a change. When we learn something new, what do? We let the all ill concept die down. We go through a small Qiyamah. Every time you learn something new, you go through a Qiyamah. Because without the pressure of the Qiyamah, you cannot move to the next level. And we went through that today. I felt कि जो seriousness थी इस class के अंदर आज, that we move from one, जो भी हमारे पुराने concept थे, whatever concept we had built in our mind, we let that go and we moved on to the next one.
In fact, I would say those of you who really missed classes, you know what we missed? That Qiyamah which was happening in our concepts. So if we missed it, actually we were missing that. And today when we are here, we want more of that feeling, that enlightenment, that knowledge. And that is the Qiyamah according to Pir Nasr Khusro.
What other question do we have regarding Jamaatana? Okay, remember we are in Jamaatana, recognition of Jamaatana courses.
So there was a question which was asked in same relation that there is a farman by Sultan Muhammad Shah, Salawatullah alayhi. Mawla says that if you want to become like Pir Sadruddin, you can become like Pir Sadruddin, Hazrat Musa, Isa, and go above that. So one of our friends asked that, is it possible in today's time? Because it does not sound like that it is possible. It probably was possible during that time. Today's lifetime we are so busy. So this was something I would like you to talk about a bit, because the impression is that today we can only become doctor, engineer or whatever, but we cannot become a peer or pagambar, because how can we? We are so busy. Or it was only possible in that time.
So ये बहुत अच्छा question है कि we all heard of this farman, that if you want, you can become like Pir Sadruddin or Isa or Farishte, or you can go above that. सबसे पहले तो इमेजिन करें what is above that, कि हम फरिश्ते से भी ऊपर जा सकते हैं. और अगर ये फरमान is no longer valid, तो क्या आज इमाम ने हमको कहीं फरमान दिया जहाँ पर बोला हो कि you cannot become like Pir Sadruddin because of whatever time problem we have. दुनिया में कभी भी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि there was not a problem of time. We always were short of time. आज भी और उस ज़माने में भी. How do we know at the time of Pir Sadruddin we were not shortage of time? क्योंकि एक पीर सदरुद्दीन बना, पूरी जमात नहीं बन गई थी. अगर टाइम का शॉर्टेज नहीं होता तो पूरी जमात बन गई होती ना. नहीं, only one पीर सदरुद्दीन became पीर सदरुद्दीन. इसका मतलब है as individual we can always become what we want to become. Just like Barkat Bhai just gave an example, how come we all did not become a doctor? Right? Because we did not want to invest our time, 18 years or 20 years to become a doctor. So we did not become a doctor. Because we did not want to invest. Not that we did not have a time. We did not want to invest our time. Look around you. How come there is only 20 of us today? Not 1,000. Because all of the people does not want to invest their time in learning our tariqah. So whoever invests, then tomorrow you can become a doctor, a PhD in Ismaili tariqah. Because you are investing your time. Right? अच्छा, आ जाए अभी पीर सदरुद्दीन के ऊपर. So, how can we become Pir Sadruddin? So first we have to see what did he do. तो मौला के फरमान में ये है कि वो 16 घंटे इबादत करते थे. He would pray 16 hours. Can we pray 16 hours? Can we pray 16 hours?
जो भी नेक काम करो, it's a pray.
Do you see that? How simple that was? Imam has given us that opportunity to remember him and pray constantly. I remember a year or two back ago we had a blackboard over here and we would write down the hours. And we will ask everybody, can we pray more than 3 hours? Can we pray 6 hours? Can we pray 12 hours? And we remember we drawing that thing all the way to 24 hours. If a mu'min want, he or she can have 24-hour prayer even while they are sleeping. Imam has given us keys to pray 24 hours. If that is the case, then of course we can become Pir Sadruddin or like him. Because Imam would not trick us by just giving us a farman which cannot be fulfilled. No, when Imam gives us a farman, he's telling us this is a possibility. But then he leaves that up to you and your free will to invest or not to invest. In one of the class few years back in Karachi, a young girl, let's say at the age of Neha, and we were talking about this, something like this. And she said that I always heard the Ruhaniyat, the spiritualism or the mysticism is so hard, almost impossible. And sound like you are saying, she was telling me, the sound like you are saying that spiritualism is very, very easy. So of course, I had a big smile on my face. I say, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Spiritualism is easier than you think. Much easier than you think. And she said, how? So I asked to bring me 2 glasses, one with a full of water and one empty glass. So I took the empty glass, I took the glass of water, and I start pouring the water into this other glass. When I was done, I put the glass down, and I had the empty glass in my hand now. I said, what do you see in this glass? Different people said different things. Nothing, out of water, air, different. Everybody had a different answer. I said, let's say, okay, this glass has air now. Did you see me putting air in this glass? They said, no. How did air get into this glass? Because when you empty the water, by default, air took place into the glass, by default. I said, that's how easy the Ruhaniyat is. You take the dunya, the world, the greed, out of your heart, and Ruhaniyat comes automatically. You don't have to do anything. Nobody will tell you that. You can do 100 years of ibadat if you want, but you keep the world in your heart, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. 100 years of ibadat, कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. क्यों? कि वो ग्लास भरा हुआ है पानी से. The greed of the world is in the glass. So what are you supposed to be doing? खाली आपको उसको निकालना था. You only have to do that. Empty out the glass, empty out your heart. The automatically spiritualism, the nur and the hidayat of Imam is automatic.
But that's like mysticism, right?
Huh?
That's like mystic belief, that you just give up everything from the world. But because Yadi Baba's farman is that
I'm not saying
I will continue to help you with your worldly life too, and not just your spiritual life.
Listen to my word. Take out the greed of the world. I never said took out the world. See, not listening. Take out the greed of the world out of your heart. I never said take out the world. देखा आपने?
So we are not saying that we need to become monk or leave our world. We live.
हमारे मज़हब में monk बना सही नहीं है. इमाम का फरमान है, you cannot become a monk.
Set aside worldly matters का मतलब है that is only for that particular period, right?
हाँ क्या चीज़?
Set aside no. There's a difference in understanding. Here, listen to him. Let's see if he tells us.
ठीक है? Take out the greed of the world. Okay? What is the greed of the world? Let's understand that first. ठीक है? आज हमारे पास एक गाड़ी है. कहीं पर मौलाना ने बोला है कि अच्छी गाड़ी नहीं रखो आप? नहीं. आज हमारे पास एक अच्छा घर है. कहीं पर मौलाना ने बोला है कि अच्छे घर में नहीं रहो? नहीं बोला है. आज हम पैसे वाले, हमारे बैंक में पैसे हैं. कहीं पर मौलाना ने बोला है कि तुम पैसा वाला नहीं बनो, गरीब बन जाओ? नहीं बोला है. कहीं पर भी नहीं बोला ऐसा. So what is the greed of the world? मेरे पास एक मर्सिडीज है, लेकिन वो 550 चला रहा है. That's the greed of the world. मेरे पास एक हाउस है 4 लाख का, लेकिन वो $1 million के घर में रह रहा है. That's the greed of the world. हाँ, आज मैं मिलियनर हूँ, लेकिन वो 10 millionaire है. That's the greed of the world. Do you see that?
It's a competitiveness.
Let's not use that word either. वो अच्छा, competition is good. Greed is not good. Because when you have more money, what is the farman of Imam? Use what you can and give to others what you don't need. यही मौलाना का फरमान है ना. तो पैसे वाला बनना बुरी बात नहीं है. Matter of fact, it's a good thing to have money, so you may help others. So greed कभी आता है? You have the money, but you never give to anybody. मेरा मेरा बोलते हैं जो, मेरा पैसा, मेरा घर. That's the greed of the world. You must empty that out. And शुक्र करें जो हमारे पास है. एक एग्जांपल देता हूँ. This is just an example. कि एक आदमी है, उसका let's say एक कन्वीनियंस स्टोर है या एक गैस स्टेशन है, जो भी. उससे उसको $4-5,000 की इनकम होती है. लेकिन वो बोलता है कि नहीं, ये तो मेरे लिए इनफ नहीं है. How about if I have a 2 convenience store? फिर दूसरा convenience store करता है. कभी कभार वो जमात में मिस करने लगता है क्योंकि now 2 convenience store है, ज़्यादा काम करना पड़ता है. फिर बोलता है ये नफ नहीं है, 3 convenience store करता है. अब वो नींद भी पूरी नहीं कर सकता है. फिर 4 convenience store करता है. सोना खत्म, जमात भी खत्म. Now, in our older people's world, they used to tell us this, and we never understood what that means. कि खाना हमको इतना है, खाना हमको इतना है, लेकिन पकाना इतना है. It never made sense to us. कि what does it mean? हमारी need जो है ना वो इतनी है, हमारी want जो है ना इतनी है. We heard, right? Eyes are bigger than tummy. कि जब हम grocery store में जाते हैं भूखे, if you are hungry and you go to grocery store, you're going to buy things you don't even need. Your eyes is bigger than your tummy, right? हमको खाना कितना है, हमारी need क्या है. Once their need is fulfilled, अब जो आपके पास extra income है, how can you use that and your time and your knowledge for others? What is the Imam's Farman? It doesn't matter what you do for yourself. Really? Imam says it doesn't matter what you do for yourself. It only matters what you do for others. Do you see that?
So let me add few things. So what are we saying in Imam's Farman is that we cannot become monk, we cannot leave our worldly duties. We have to do that. So we need to understand that it's not becoming, leaving the world. So what do we mean by that? It's actually about intellect. How intellectually we are living in this world, how consciously we are living in this world. When you have things, house, whatever, it's good to have. Mullah says you should be happy, living comfortably. That's why we got education and now we are standing on our feet, we are living very well, and Mullah is happy. When he sees Jamaat happy, flourishing, he is happy. So we are doing the right thing. But if our mind, our intellect is 100% being invested only in our world, then we have problem. Call it a greed, call it a comparison, worldly competitiveness, whatever word term you use. It's the intellect. Meaning what? Meaning that when we talked about being in remembrance for 24 hours, what does that mean? I do go to work, but what is my intention of going to the work? If I go to work and I say, let me earn this money so I can buy $4,000 dress because my friend bought that. So I have to have that $4,000 dress. That's a wrong intention. That keeps me in only worldly desire, do worldly things. If I'm going to work and I'm saying, Ya Mawla, I'm earning this money so I can pay my dues and I can help my Jamaat and live my living too. Now that work became ibadah. So simple. It's so easy. So it's how we consciously with right intentions live our life. Earning money is good. Saving money is good. Using money for your needs is good. But then if we were to keep that money for our use only and never have heart to help the Jamaat in need, then it's example, given by Pir Nasir Khusro of snake who sits on the treasure but never shares, right? That's not a characteristic of a Momin. Momin shares what we have. And that's why Mawla has given us this farman that we need to have time and knowledge Nazrana. Because he's teaching us that your 24 hours is not only yours for yourself, it's for those who need to. Your knowledge is not for yourself, but for those also who need it too. That does not mean that I don't use my time for my happiness, but always wanting to live for happiness and fun, it's a problem. Like for youngsters, we hear, 24 hours you're talking about this classes or knowledge or Jamaat Khana. When do I have fun? Who says that you cannot have fun? You should have fun. What makes you happy? Watching a movie? Playing a game? Do that. But there has to be an end to it. One fun is finished and then you're seeking another fun, another fun. It's like never ending kind of fun seeking life. And that's how people are going from one thing to other, living unconsciously. Everything has to have a time. You should have fun. Mawla says, smile. When you're not smiling, I'm not happy. I want you to be happy. So if that's what you want to do that. But do it consciously. There has to be a limit, and then you go back to your permanent life. We are being told always that you have physical life and spiritual life. If we constantly live only physical life, then as Dr. Sahib said, we'll become animal. There'll be no difference between me as a human having intellect and an animal who also has instincts and soul, but only seeks to meet his instincts, his wants, his desire, only for his body's need. I am a human. I have intellect, and then Imam has told us that we have our spirit and we need to, elevate ourselves in a spiritual life. His duash is always physical as well as spiritual. I don't want you to forget that you have a spiritual life too. That's where comes the consciousness. So when we live in the worldly life, we don't complain. We stay contented. When we are not content with what we have, we are into problem. So it's not a very big deal actually. It's very simple and easy. But it's only comes with knowledge and becoming conscious in our life. When we are not conscious, what happens? There's constant anxiety in ourselves. We are anxious. I need to do that. I need to do that. I have to. Constant thoughts are coming and we are doing things, comparing ourselves with others and doing whatever we need to do. Mola says, when you have 5 seconds, take my name. What does that mean? Connect to your spirit. Calm down. Become conscious and then live your life. Every 5 seconds. If we practice what Imam is saying to us, every 5 seconds you have a break and you say my name, automatically with practice that glass which is filled with water will empty out, and by default we'll become spiritual, more conscious, more contented in our lives, more close to Imam. Today's Farman was so beautiful. Mola said, I want you to be close to me. How beautiful that was, right? So Mola, when he wants us to be close to him, and that's why Imam has made this Farman that you can become Pi Sadardin, you can become Isa, or even go higher than that, meaning that potential is today in each one of us. If we were to understand it with knowledge, become conscious and practice, we will get that level. And today's Praman, when Mawla says, I want you to be close to me, what does that mean? Elevate your ranks to the extent that you are close to me. And then we talked about this masjid, which is in our heart. And Mawla said that I do not want to live in any other place but in the heart of a moment. If my heart, if my Jamaat Khana is so pure, so clean, there is always zikr going on in that Jamaat Khana, Imam likes to live in us. He's so merciful, he's telling us that I want you to be close to me, meaning that we have to work hard to go to him. In fact, no, he is so ready and waiting to come close to us. We need to do that, like take one step so he can come 1,000 steps towards us. So it's up to us to, with the free will, make that intention. Don't even do anything. Just think. Intellectually becoming conscious. As soon as we do that, he'll help us make paths for us to walk and take steps. And remember, I'm sure you have heard of that too, right? That when we are difficulties. Because another logic, I'm studying. I have to study so hard and I constantly am trying to, prepare for exams and whatnot. Then I have time. I want to have fun. We hear that from youngsters. And then I say, okay, have fun and study. But when you study, make intention. I'm studying today so I can prepare myself to live my life comfortably and help the Jamaat. What did you just do? You make those studies hours, which you're doing 18 hours or whatnot, an intention of ibadah. What did you do? You asked for the blessings of Mawla, because Mawla wants us to do what? Help the Jamaat. That became ibadah.
So, what would be a good practice for us individually as per Imam's Farman, that every night when we sleep, we should put our finger on our nafs and ask ourselves, what did I do good today? So, if we think about it, if at night time or whenever we have a chance, we can say, okay, so this 24 hours, what have I done to help others? That's it. If you cannot find a single thing that you have done today to help besides yourself, what does it telling us?
We are very selfish. So, easy for youngsters here. If you study and you intended that Mawla, help me succeed in my studies so I can help myself and help my Jamaat, I would say, you did 18 hours of study, ibadat. And you would say, yes, Mullah Papa, I did help others. That's it. Simple as that. So easy.
Right? So as a grown up especially, like mother can say, I help my daughter. Right? Or I cooked for my daughter. Or I did something for others besides myself. Meaning we are not selfish. So on daily basis we should ask ourselves, have I done anything for others? Anything. If we cannot think of a thing that we have done for others today, we need to visit ourselves again and say, what can I do tomorrow? Because I'm not a selfish person. I do want to follow Imam's Farman. And once you become conscious of that, you will find ways to help others. You will go out of your way to help others. You know, what it says that if you have a knowledge and if you don't give knowledge, then knowledge will stand there and that's it. It will never grow. Same goes for the money. If you have money, but if you never share, never purify that money, then money will not grow. It will just sit there. You know, some people will say, well, I give my dasan. But dasan to farz hai aapke upar. वो तो कर्ज है. You have not done any ihsan on anybody. And if you think you're giving dasan, you are doing ihsan on Imam, you are wrong. No, dasan is your first, and you're supposed to give. But after that, what do you do with that money? With your knowledge, with your time, everything. I'm not just talking about money. With the earning of the time, earning of the knowledge, and earning of the money. All needs to be purified by sharing with others. Inshallah. Inshallah.
Any questions?
If there's no question, we can move on to the next